Now, Andrea, we decided to do more comparison videos, then COVID-19 popped up and then limited the cars we could get.
Yeah.
So what do we have today?
We've got the Toyota CHR and we've got the Nissan Qashqai.
And you know what? This is the fastest growing segment, not only in Canada, not only in North America, but worldwide. Small utility vehicles are exploding in sales, and people are moving from what? They're moving from
a compact car to a subcompact SUV.
So what do you think about the way they look on the outside?
Well, I think the Qashqai has a sporty look with the bigger wheels, but the CHR has this wow factor. You know, some people might not like the exterior look of it, but you know what? People are gonna look at this car.
They're probably not going to be family people, right?
No, I don't think it's big enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think that anybody who has a family would like a little bit more space.
Now, one thing about the design of the CHR, trying to be edgy and sort of stand out, are the door handles on the back doors.
Yeah, I don't like them. They're just too fussy, too finicky for me, hard to get in and out of.
So why don't you drive first,
okay,
and we'll start with the CHR because we'll go alphabetically, CHR, all right?
Okay, sounds good.
This video is brought to you by Car Cost Canada. Get the dealer's cost, list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get extra searches. The link is in the description below. Andrea, what are a girl's best friend?
What is a girl's best friend?
Diamonds are a girl's best friend. I've got you some diamonds.
Diamonds.
Look
Did
up.
you?
Look.
Oh,
See in the ceiling?
Aren't I lucky? Aren't I lucky?
Well, you get them all through the cabin, actually. If you look at the shape of the switches on the steering wheel and on the HVAC system and even on the side panels of the doors, it's all a diamond motif.
A lot of detail.
Just for you.
Thank you. I'm sure they thought of me for sure.
Now, the only thing is, no sunroof.
Yeah, and you know I'm a big fan of a sunroof. You're not, so why does that bother you?
Well, it does make a difference in the two cars we're comparing.
Yes.
And I think it comes down to sort of like a bit of a claustrophobic feel.
Yes.
With this car, it feels quite closed in. They're roughly the same size. You know, you wouldn't think of the CHR and the Qashqai as being kind of direct competitors.
No.
But they actually have a lot in common. Now, let's just get the big one out of the way. This is only sold with front-wheel drive.
That's right.
And the Qashqai is sold with front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive. So it really comes down to your price point. We've talked about this before. Good set of winter tires versus all-wheel drive.
Yeah, you believe that?
I believe that a good set of winter tires on this car will get you pretty much where you need to go. You're more in the all-wheel drive camp.
Well, it really depends on the person. I have got a friend who doesn't like switching out tires, so they would rather just have all-wheel drive and a good set of all-season tires. If you're willing to switch out and have snowies, do it.
I think you should have both anyway. But the thing is, most of people who buy these small utilities, if it's available with all-wheel drive, typically take that option, right?
Sure, yes.
But generally, they're running with the same size engine. This is a 2-liter, 4-cylinder engine with 144 horsepower.
Yeah.
The Qashqai has
141.
Has 141 from a 2-liter. They both have continuously variable transmissions, and that's kind of on size. They're about the same size. The wheelbase is exactly the same length. This is just about 1.5 inches or so shorter than the Qashqai overall.
Okay.
So we're going to drive the Qashqai in a moment, but what are your general thoughts on the way this drives?
I like the way it drives. In fact, if I can compare it to the Qashqai, I prefer the way that this drives. It has a sportier feel. It has a tighter...
Off-road, easy lady.
Whoa. It has a tighter wheel. You know, the steering isn't as loose. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's loose. I think it's just it's more boosted, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I feel that this has more power when I accelerate. I get that the horsepower is only, you know, a difference of 4, but it does go faster than the Qashqai.
Wait a second. Yesterday, we were doing the shots from car to car, and we were shooting from this car and then the other car, and we did a hard acceleration away.
Yeah.
And neither one of them is particularly fast.
Well, we were trying to get away from a vehicle, and there was no way. I don't even know why we bothered.
Neither one of them is going to set a land speed record.
Absolutely
That's not what they're about.
No.
All right, so let's get into the cabin. I mentioned diamonds, which are, you know, that's a nice look, but the rest of the cabin, what do you think?
I think that Toyota's done a really good job with this. The seats are super comfortable. I like all the little details, like you said, about the padding. patterns. I like the big screen.
And the screen is bigger.
Yeah, I really feel good in here. I like that compact feel. I know you said that
It's a bit
you
cramped
feel.
for me.
I don't feel that.
Okay, so the screen is 8 inches. Qashqai 7 inches. This has Apple CarPlay but no Android Auto. But Qashqai is 7 inches and does offer those 2 features. So you get an inch bigger, but you don't get one operating system. Here's an interesting one though. This car on the base model does not come with heated seats in Canada.
I'm surprised about that with Toyota.
That's a no-no, right?
Yeah.
Now the other thing is
I think all around, it doesn't matter where you live. I think heated seats should just be part of the deal.
Speaking of seats, with the Toyota RAV4, you know, the bigger family utility, no leather available. The top trim has faux leather, where this car actually does have leather.
Interesting.
Now the other thing, speaking of seats, that sort of claustrophobic feel that I don't love about this car is in the back. You get in the back. The legroom in this actually seems a little bit better than Qashqai, funnily enough. And the headroom is more sort of confined, but the windows are small in the back, right? And it does have that sort of claustrophobic feel. So you might not know, but this car was never designed to be a Toyota.
What was it designed to be?
It was designed for the Scion division, and Scion was the youth division of Toyota. So it was what was it called? Yeah, they never actually introduced it. They were going to introduce it as a Scion, and then at the last minute they changed it to be a Toyota. So the whole target audience for this car, right out of the gate, was to have a youth-driven vehicle. Do you think they hit the mark?
Oh, for sure they did. For sure. Everything about it. It's sporty. There's a wow factor to the exterior where it's like, look at me, look at me.
You think so?
When you're on the road.
Well, you look at things like the spoiler over the back window and the rake of the rear window. Now, there are sacrifices, of course, right? When you do that, you're giving up functionality. But somebody who wants a vehicle like this probably isn't using the back seat very often.
No, it has a really sporty feel to the drive. The interior has a luxury feel, some upscale features to it. And the exterior, some may not like the look of it, but you're certainly going to look at it.
All right. Now we're going to stop and we're going to switch cars.
Okay.
And then at the end, I'm going to give you the price, which might be a bit surprising. Okay? So what do you think of the name Qashqai?
It's an interesting name and a bit of a mouthful.
You know what? This car's been out for a few years. I still can't spell it. Every time I have to write it, I have to look it up.
Yeah,
I can
get
never
that.
remember. Do you know what the Americans did?
What did they do?
Screw it.
Oh yeah,
We're calling it the Rogue Sport.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the name of the car, and basically Rogue Sport is actually a better description of it, because what they've done is they've taken the Rogue and just shrunk it down. It's almost exactly the same.
Yeah, so it would have made more sense.
I think so.
But they wanted to come out with a funky little name to confuse people.
The name is Qashqai. This is
Qashqai.
the best-selling crossover in Europe is this vehicle.
That's right.
And it has been around for quite a while. So they wanted to try and capitalize on that name. But anyway,
you can see why it's the #1 seller too.
Yeah, I totally
it's a
think
huge
so.
Seller.
And here's the thing: we talked about the sort of claustrophobic feel of the CHR.
Yes.
This is the opposite.
Yeah, it's very open,
especially with the light color interior. Right?
Yes, but I still think you're sitting up a bit higher. The windows are bigger. It's just generally a more open feeling to it. Yes, and the sunroof, which is closed.
Because I like it shut. But it definitely feels more open and like a conventional utility vehicle, and that's really what it is.
It feels roomier, although we talked about size between the two, and it's not that it's that much bigger. No, it's just the way it's designed.
Yeah, the roof line is straighter, the hatch is square, And speaking of the hatch, there is more useful space in the back of this. The one thing I will say for the Qashqai is that, and Nissan generally, is they have this organizer for the rear cargo area that flips and folds so you can prevent things from sliding around. It's quite a simple, innovative sort of solution that doesn't really cost anything for them to do. And then the opening is bigger. It's just a more conventional utility shape. Which do you think appeals to more people than the CHR?
Yes, I think in general it appeals to more people, families. You feel like it is a larger vehicle, and actually the Qashqai is number one in cargo space in this category. So
I love when you talk. I love when you talk dirty like that with all your figures.
All the stats,
I know.
hey?
Okay, I like the sort of traditional layout of this. I think that even things like where we put our coffee, and things on the inside, there's just more room. And but we talked about it before. What you give up though is you have a new infotainment system from Nissan, but it's 7 inches. Now they've updated it and to make it a little faster, what have you. What they haven't changed are the actual cameras, the backup cameras. The definition of them is like, kind of reminds me of year 2000.
Right.
It's kind of old technology. That's something they could certainly work on.
And you have to admit, when you look at the CHR with that nice screen, the bigger screen, it does look more modern.
And one thing you have to give credit to Toyota for really pushing forward on was making standard safety features on pretty much all of their vehicles. So that's the forward collision warning and the autonomous braking.
Huge.
They really pushed that about 3 or 4 years ago. And now this Rogue, I call it the Rogue, this Qashqai has the same level of equipment. So you have standard forward collision warning and autonomous braking on every model. Okay, Andrew, you've got the cheat sheet there with the price.
I do. So the Qashqai starts at $21,500 and it goes to $34,000.
$21,500 front wheel drive, manual transmission. And then the fully loaded one we're in here is how much?
$34,000.
Okay, CHR.
CHR starts at $23,650.
So that $23,650 does not have heated seats.
And on the high side, $28,800.
So that's substantially less. That is that's $5,500 less for the fully loaded CHR that we have today.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a real difference in equipment between the CHR that we have today and the Qashqai we have today?
No.
Both have leather seats.
Yeah.
Both have heated seats. Both have heated steering wheel.
Yes.
Safety features are all standard equipment. So it just comes down to looks. This vehicle on the mid-range price is quite competitive, but on the high side, it seems out of step.
It's too high.
But wait. All-wheel drive is in there too.
Well, I was going to say that there is a difference between all-wheel drive and front wheel.
So the CHR, even though it's not a conventional shape, the pricing is quite compact. I mean, what is it, $23,500 to 28?
$28,800.
Yeah, so that's $5,000.
Yeah,
is the spread. That's it.
That's right.
So even though they have the same size engine, similar horsepower, similar dimensions overall, they're really quite different, aren't they?
Oh, they're very different, very different. The drive of the CHR was sportier. I just really loved it. I love being a little bit lower. I like the steering on it better than the Qashqai.
You like the look?
I like the look of it. Yeah, I do.
See, I'm the opposite. I appreciate what they're trying to do with the CHR, but I just like the good old functionality of the Qashqai.
Sure.
And I understand Toyota as a sort of an ecosystem, being reliable, great resale. I get all of that.
Yeah.
And we own a Toyota.
Yeah, yeah.
But the thing is that when it comes down to everyday usability, I think I would choose the Qashqai. What about you?
I would choose the Qashqai as well. I think for everyday ease of use, practicality, and space, especially for a family, the Qashqai is the winner here.
Okay, before me, single Andrea.
Yes.
Would you still be picking the Qashqai?
Absolutely not. I'd be CHR all the way.
That's gold.
Car Cost Canada provides the dealer's cost, a list of rebates, plus discounted interest rates. Use the promo code MOTORMOUTH to become an expert member and get access to exclusive and powerful savings. The link is in the description below.